Hi guys, I thought I'd make a short video just to highlight my process throughout the hair transplant procedure, kind of before it, my decision making, why I went to the clinic that I eventually chose, how I'm feeling at the moment, post surgery, about 5 days in now, still got a bit of swelling, hopefully come down the next day or so. And some scabs, obviously still got the scabs on there, but I'll explain a bit more detail as we go through. So yeah, decided to get my hair transplant done about probably 9 months ago. I kind of bit the bullet and went for it. I'd been going bald since my late teens, 18, 19. It was quite apparent that that's the avenue I was going to go down. Looking at the my family, it was inevitable. It wasn't an issue really until recently. I'm now 26, and I thought, I'd kind of gone. I'll try and show some before pictures, some during and some after surgery as well, to highlight kind of how bad it was. Pretty severely bald. So I decided to take the plunge and start really looking into it about a year ago. Went for initial consultation with a UK clinic, because initially I'd, like a lot of guys probably do, have done and will do in the future, is kind of discount Turkey or Istanbul without really doing any research into it, which is kind of what I done initially, and went straight for the UK clinic. So I had a consultation, which was great, well-known clinic here, but the cost was astronomical really, looking back, and the amount of grafts, it was just not worth it. What I eventually got was more than double the grafts for about half the price. So I am delighted that I kind of chose the route that I went down eventually. So yeah, I mean, I took a lot of knowledge and experience from guys on YouTube, kind of doing similar to what I'm doing here, but also on Facebook pages, guys that I know have done it previously, gave me a lot of their thoughts and their advice, and a lot of things to take from it, which was really helpful. Which is also kind of why I'm doing this video, and hopefully this can help all you guys thinking about getting it done. Any questions that you may have, I'm more than happy to respond to them, and give you my take on things. But I'm by no means a doctor, and you should always take the medical advice from these guys. But if there's any questions about the process and any elements of this video that you want to bring up, I'll be more than happy to respond and give you my views. So yeah, having a look at some of the videos, I chose my clinic pretty quickly actually. There's a guy, Dr. Cinik, which is in Istanbul, just one of the well-known clinics over there. I know a lot of guys have been there, and a lot of fantastic reviews. So without really looking vastly into it, I kind of made my mind up quite early on as to that is the place that I want to go. So I know a lot of guys do other things, kind of go through intermediaries. I went straight to the clinic and got in touch with them straight away. They came back, there was a bit of a WhatsApp dialogue, great English, and they kind of take you through the process, answer any questions that you may have. You send them photos of your before photos, front, your two sides and at the back, and they kind of diagnose exactly what, or roughly what's needed, how many grafts, and whatnot. So they done that. They came back, fairly quickly, answered any queries that I had, and I felt very comfortable with them, with the reviews and just generally with the help and advice from the staff there. So I kind of made my decision pretty early on, and booked in with Dr. Cinik. So what I had to do is book my flights. First of all, booked them from the UK over there on Monday the 16th, so not too long ago, and that was a day before the surgery. What you have to do is you book your flights, you send the confirmation to the clinic, and that confirms your spot. You pay your deposit, I think €300 or something along those lines, and that's you kind of booked in. There's a couple of packages at Dr. Cinik. They have an exclusive package, which I decided or opted for, and that's where Dr. Cinik himself comes and does the incisions rather than his technicians. I'm sure, I mean, the guys are very good at doing it. I just felt a bit more comfortable for not that much more money, having Dr. Cinik himself actually do the incisions. So I decided to go for that. Paid my deposit, and that was me booked in. So I flew out on Monday. I got to the airport in Istanbul, which I must say is fantastic. It's just been developed, I think, opened in March this year. It's an amazing airport. Got there on Monday, about 8 o'clock in the evening. We were asked to go through arrivals and find, can't remember the car company, the hire company, but we found one of the hire company sort of retail units and signed in there. The chap made his phone call, and there was two or three other guys. Got chatting away to them, which was nice. It was nice to know there was others that were going through the same nerves and anxiety as you were, as such. So got chatting to them. Waited on the driver who came and collected us within about 10 or 15 minutes. Took us led us to the car and took us to our hotel. So as part of the package, you don't get your flights, you have to pay them separately. But what you do get is your accommodation and what is a fantastic hotel, 5-star, which includes your breakfast. For me, I had my dad who came along with me, just for a bit of company, which, you know, a lot of guys go themselves and that's fine. It's something that I didn't fancy doing, and looking back, I think I did make the right choice. It was nice to have someone there, kind of. It's, you know, you are kind of living out your hotel room for most of the trip. So it's nice to have some company. So that included, I just had to pay for my dad's flights. Everything else was included within my surgery costs, which was great. So yeah, got into the hotel, checked in, and that was it. The room was great. Lovely hotel. Had our dinner on the first night. A bit anxious, a bit nervous. It was something of it kind of been 12, as I said before, 9 to 12 months in the making. You kind of switch off from it. It's so far in the distance at that point, but it does creep up. And being there on the first night, it was quite a bizarre feeling, and seeing guys who'd actually had their surgery in the 3-4 days previous, or even sooner. There's sort of guys in the restaurant, the hotel lobby, kind of walking about, which also kind of put me at a bit of ease as well. I wasn't certainly not the only one. There was lots and lots of guys that were kind of walking about with the headbands on and the protective padding. So it was a kind of sign of what was to come. So yeah, no, that was actually quite sort of relaxing to see other chaps walking about with what I was going to look like the following day. So it was quite an early start on the Tuesday, the 17th, surgery day. Got picked up at 7:45. They do advise you to have a pretty healthy breakfast, substantial breakfast. So I managed to get that from the buffet, which was great. Picked up at 7:45, as I say, into the clinic for about maybe 5 or 10 minutes later. It wasn't far away at all. Again, there was 2 or 3 other chaps who were having their surgery on that day as well. So met them in the morning, and they kind of came in at the same time as I did. We were welcomed with our kind of representative, I would say, is an English-speaking guy. He's there to look after you throughout the whole process and your whole stay at the clinic. I thought he was excellent. Took me through all the paces, explained exactly what was going on. I must add that it was so efficient. These guys, of course, they do it day in, day out, but it ran like clockwork. It really did. There was lots of people in there. Guys that had their surgery done, coming in and out throughout the 3 or 4 days that I was there, and there just didn't seem to be any issue at all. So that was another really great positive about the place. It was extremely efficient. So I went in 8 o'clock in the morning. I had my bloods done. I'm really squeamish. It was one thing that I was extremely nervous about leading up to it. You know, a lot of people are not bothered about these things. I was, and it was no problem at all. Piece of cake. Got in 8 o'clock, had the bloods taken. They take your blood for the PRP treatment, you might have heard. It's something to do with the plasma that they put into the blood and re-inject it post-surgery to help the healing process, I think. But also to run some blood tests on you to see that you don't have any diseases that would prevent surgery taking place. So once they'd done that, the representative took me up the stairs straight away, and there's a series of rooms and consultations that you do. First of all, I seen Dr. Cinik himself for what was quite a short and brief introduction, really, which was fine. These guys, as I say, do it day in, day out. They've got a lot of patience. They know exactly what they're doing. So I took a bit of comfort in that and a bit of trust that it wasn't too rushed. It was just very efficient. He had one look at the hair, kind of drew on a hairline and a line down the middle of the forehead, I think for symmetry, which I was quite happy with. He then advised that he would probably take some grafts from under the chin, kind of the beard area, which I don't know if you can see, is actually almost fully healed already, which is great. And he said I might achieve between 3,300 to possibly 3,900 grafts. I ended up getting, I think, 4,500, so I was more than happy with that when I found out post-surgery. But anyway, after the initial consultation, once you're happy with your hairline drawn on, you're taken in to sign a sort of disclaimer and pay your cash. I paid in cash. There was a €250 or pound charge for using card. I think it's a tax that they have or something. I'm not entirely sure. So I was happy to take out the cash in the UK and take it over. Some guys might feel quite uncomfortable with that. I wasn't too bothered. And paid in cash. It was all fine, signed a form. Was then led in to take some before photos. They take a photo at the front, the two sides, and sort of back and top of your head, professionally. And then before you know it, you're maybe 10, maybe not as soon as 10, maybe 20 minutes, so 20 past 8, I was in the operating room, and sort of early introductions with the technicians who be dealing with me that day. Blood pressure taken, and that was it. It was kind of on the bed within 20 minutes after all that, so it was very, very efficient, and that was actually, I found, to be quite a nice thing for me, actually. There wasn't an awful lot of time to think about things, and kind of worry about anything. It was like clockwork. You're in and straight into the operating bed without any messing about, which was really good. So yeah, I mean, initially you lie kind of face down. I did forget to mention that they do offer you, some places I think have this option included for no extra charge. My place didn't. It was a painless anaesthetic, which I didn't really look too much into. I decided not to opt for it. I thought sort of be manly and go for the pain. I've heard reviews and experience and feedback from other guys who said it's like going to the dentist. Incidentally, I found it to be a lot worse than going to the dentist for me personally. So I decided not to go for the pain side. But what I think they do is they kind of shock your skin, and it reduces the pain by about, I think, up to 60%. But I'm sure it's still sore for these guys. I think that's maybe €250 more expensive as well. So I decided not to go for that, and just kind of go ahead and be manly, which I instantly regretted. As soon as they put the needles in, it was for me very sore, and definitely the worst part of the whole process. And it's over within no time. You feel a bit of a burning sensation at the back and at the sides when they're numbing it, and then once you've kind of done that, you don't feel a thing. It was a piece of cake. So yeah, they started to take out the grafts. The representative's there at all times, lets you know what they're doing, when they're starting things, why they're doing what they're doing. He was very, very good. So there's no shocks or surprises. So yeah, I mean, they started taking out from the donor area at the sides. You might see, which is actually really, it's healed really quickly. Day 5, it's really come on, but they take it from the sides and the back, and it's a kind of electrical tool. You can hear it, you can't feel it, and I think at this stage, did I fall asleep? I think I probably did, especially when I was face down when they were taking it from the back area. It was absolutely fine, didn't feel a thing. That was probably for about an hour and a half. So that was, about 10 o'clock to 10:30. They'd finished the extraction, which again was no hassle, no pain whatsoever. They kind of take you through the process quite easily, move you about when you need to be, and they kind of padded me up thereafter and put me onto my back. It was a bit early, but they then gave me my lunch, which is a sandwich. It was quite nice, and a sort of a sugary drink. And once I'd had that, they were ready for Dr. Cinik to come in and do the incisions. So I had to again get the anaesthetic onto my scalp, which was less than pleasant. Again, but once that had been done, similar to the donor area, it was no hassle, no problem at all. Didn't feel a thing. I was in quite a comfy sitting position, and I can't remember a single thing about the incision, so unfortunately can't give you much feedback about that. I fell asleep, completely conked out for the whole time. I think about an hour and a half. That's how much you don't feel a thing. Feel really comfortable. You don't see anything. There's a screen on. You can watch a film if you want to. It's really relaxing. There's some music on. People are kind of at their work. They're chatting away. Really relaxed. It's really no problem at all. So once they had been done, the representative explained that that was part 2 of 3 completed, and now be moved on to sort of lying back fully on my back, and that the technicians will then go into the implanting stage, which again was fine. I didn't need any more anaesthetic. Again, fell asleep for the vast majority of it. I think about 3 hours of this process. Probably slept for about 2.5 hours. And there was a couple of technicians who were great, and they implanted the hairs into the hairline. What I was given was, because I was pretty bare on top, I was given quite a large zone 1 area, zone 2, and then zone 3 at the back was the crown. And I was advised that they would concentrate heavily on zone 1 and zone 2, and then less so in zone 3. I'll try and add a picture to this to kind of show from the side, but you can see that the density does, it's far more sparse as it goes back, which I think they try and do. They try and get a frontal or the elevation from the front to look as full as possible, which I'm pretty happy with. I kind of knew or thought I might have to go back in the future, at some point to get the mid or the rear of the scalp, zone 3, done, because there is a maximum that you can do in one sitting. So we'll see how it all comes out. But yeah, again, that was all fine. It was over before I knew it. It was done by about 2:30, which I I think is early in comparison to a lot of other guys who can go to about 4 or 5 o'clock. I'm not entirely sure why mine was so quick. There wasn't really any waiting from the minute I stepped in the clinic to stepping out. It was so efficient, which was absolutely fantastic. I couldn't talk it up anymore. So easygoing. The staff were great, really look after you, and it was it's just a really nice process. It felt absolutely fine. I was glad to have it done. I thought that's the procedure done. All this anxiety and nerves really for not very much, and it was great. It was a sort of a great relief to be leaving the room. I was then left with the representative again, kind of chatting through, asked if I was okay. I think they give you a bit of a snack and another drink to feed you and make you feel a bit better. And then he gives you your pack. I think most clinics will probably be the same. It was your shampoo and your foam, which you'll have to use when you get past day 2. Also your kind of information pack about your tablets, all your tablets, when to take them, what they are, why they're needed. And also we were given a sort of fisherman's hat. Looks a bit ridiculous, but it kind of does sit if you're to go outside. You don't need to wear it inside, but if you're to go outside, you must have it on. It's to protect the newly implanted grafts from, I think, rain and dust or air pollution, etc. So they give you that. They also give you a neck brace, or neck cushion, I should say, which is okay. I think ultimately their one was pretty poor quality. I'd actually got a nice one from the UK that I'd taken over, and I highly recommend that you do that. It's far comfier than the one that they provide, and you do have to, for the first, I'm still doing it now, sort of lie at a 45-degree angle on your back to allow your swelling to reduce and to protect the newly implanted grafts from contact on your pillow or any other element of your bed or sofa or wherever you're sleeping. So I really highly recommend you get a really good neck pillow. It'll do you the world of good. So I was sent away. First night was absolutely fine. I was to expect a bit of bleeding on the pillows, which did happen. There was quite a bit for me. Some guys are less. Some guys have a lot. For me, it was quite a lot. It was kind of covered the neck pillow, and I got quite a bit of a shock in the morning. But I was told that that's absolutely normal, and nothing to be worried about at all. So that was fine. I didn't really feel anything. I think my body had been through quite a lot that day, so I think sleep is something that it drastically needed. So I kind of conked out. Had a fairly good sleep in the first night. So that was all fine. Second day, you're in about 3 o'clock in the afternoon to have a post-op check, check if everything's okay, and then they take off all your kind of protective padding and put on the head strap you might have seen some guys wear, which is kind of put round your head, which keeps the swelling up. And I'll put another photo. When you take it off, you look absolutely ridiculous. It's like a mushroom head, loads of swelling at the top, and then nothing from here down, which, as you can see, I've still got, you might not be able to tell, but I've still got a little bit of swelling, which I can kind of massage out throughout the next few days, but it reduces really, really quickly, so nothing to worry about really. And then you're kind of given your oh no, that's the next day. So yeah, day 3, you're given your wash. Some guys don't opt to stay for an extra night. I did. I thought it'd be a good idea for them to do it. You come in with your stuff. They put the foam on your head. They take off your band. They wash your sides and back, the donor areas, which is all fine. They pop on another band and sort of send you on your merry way, which is fine. It was all great. The second night, I have to say, I didn't get a huge amount of sleep. It was quite uncomfortable. You know, it wasn't sore. They do give you painkillers, which I didn't really have to take. It was just quite uncomfortable. It felt really numb. Felt like I had, you know, sort of a helmet on at all times. My neck was taking a bit of pressure. Again, these are all kind of personal things. Some guys might sleep really well. For me, I didn't get a great sleep on the second night. Managed to get home. No bother at all. I still had the band on. I think you need the band on for 2 days, they advise. So I'd taken mine off a couple of days ago. Now on day 5, the swelling has reduced massively. Got myself comfy at home with the pillows all kind of set up, and I used a sleeping tablet to help me sleep the last 2 nights, which has been 2 nights has been great, been fantastic. Slept like a baby with no hassle at all. What I also would say is that you do have a sort of a strict amount of tablets that you need to take. You know, every clinic will be different. Definitely take your doctor's advice. Some guys don't take them. I've seen some guys they've not bothered. For me, I'm going to go regimented by the book and do exactly what the doctor said. And you know, you take a certain amount in the morning, a couple after your dinner at night, and I think that's only until they're all finished, which is about a maximum 10 days. Some run out in 3 days and 7 days, and some go until about 10 days. So I'm going to do that day 5 now, so halfway through. Again, no problem at all. Day 5, the sides and the back heal really, really quickly. You can still definitely see that I've had the donor area kind of worked on. I've had grafts taken out, but in comparison to even when the first day I got home, the difference is astonishing. Really, the hair starts to grow really quickly. It scabs over really quickly, which is great. Absolutely fine. On top, kind of as it was really, I was a bit worried. In my information pack, there's a bit of broken English, and it does mention that you have to have your grafts off within 3 days, and I think that was kind of meant to say that the scabs could come in. Sorry, the scabs, not your grafts. The scabs could form up to 3 days, and I think they kind of put in that I kind of misjudged what they said, so I was a bit worried. I thought I had to get the scabs off. I'm glad I said to them, because you're absolutely not meant to rub or massage your newly implanted grafts at all. So I'm glad I sort of brought that up with them. They advised me that after the 7th wash on day 10, I can then start to use the shower properly, massage the scabs off and the blood clots, and that should be fine from then. I am washing it every day. There's a foam that I've been given that I spray on. I can tap in very, very gently on the implanted area or the recipient area, and I leave that for about 25-30 minutes to soak in, and then I use a kind of warm water from a jug to take off. You're not meant to put any pressure on it, so some water to rinse it off. And there's also a shampoo that you use for the back and sides, and a little on top as well. So I'll be doing that every day. I think that kind of helps clean and soften the all the areas that have been worked on. What I would say is one thing that didn't get made too apparent when I was looking into all this is that it can be very uncomfortable for up till about now. I mean, it's getting a lot better now. Now it's five days in. I can only assume that every day that passes is going to get better and better. So it's really not a problem. But there's a lot of itching. I know I've ordered an aloe vera spray for the donor area. I don't think you're allowed to do this on the top. So I think that's coming today at some point. So I'll give that a go and see if that takes down some of the itching at the sides and back. I'd be interested to hear from any of you who have had this done or know the best way to get rid of or reduce the itching, which can be quite uncomfortable, and it still feels really quite numb. Feels less so than it was every day. As I said, it gets better and better. But the top, if you do touch it ever so slightly, you can't really feel, which is strange. It's a strange feeling to have, but I suppose it has been worked on, and essentially I've gone through an operation, and it's only 5 days after. So what can I expect? But yeah, no. Aside from that, absolutely delighted with the progress so far. I know there's a long way to go. It's a bit of a long process, and ultimately a process that will take a bit of time, a bit of patience. Have to do everything right and by the book. So yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of all I wanted to cover in this initial video. I know it's blanketed over a lot of detail, but I thought I'd take you through the process from start to where I am at the moment. If there's any questions, please do get in touch. I'd be delighted to help. I know that really helped me. And what I would say, guys, is genuinely, it's no problem at all. If you're thinking about getting it done, go into the Hair Loss Crusaders Facebook page, have a look at some of the guys who've had it done before, look at their before and after photos, look at the advice that they give you, look up on YouTube on the videos and things like this, and the advice that people are giving. It's all very positive, and kind of make your mind up on that basis. But from my experience, I would definitely go again. Dr. Cinik was fantastic. Couldn't believe the cleanliness of the place, the efficiency, and ultimately the amount of people in Istanbul who go there from all over the world to get their hair transplant procedure done. So I think that's it, really. I'll maybe do another video in the next sort of 5 days, maybe less. See when the scabs come off. If there's a bit of a process, once the aloe vera spray's in, I might let you know how that helps the itching process for me. And yeah, I might give it 5 or 10 days for another update. But yeah, catch you then.